Hello everyone, I'm Yvonne and I want to welcome you all to my kitchen. This is my very first YouTube video and today, June 22nd, also happens to be my birthday and my daughter's too. We are kind of in a lockdown mode and really can't go anywhere, so we thought we'll just stay home and just have fun. I wear many hats for those of you who know me, but my most passionate is cooking. I've been catering private events for years. And it's really a continuation from where my mom left off. She was a chef. We cooked all our lives. Growing up as a child in Ghana, every weekend we were pretty much catering somebody's event. And I've been doing this, continuing to do this since I've been in the US. Even though it's not my primary profession, I will be sharing with you some recipes inspired by her cooking. A lot of it will be dishes from Ghana, but also from around the world, because we like to explore different cultures and cuisines. Now, Ghanaian dishes are tasty and spicy most often, but let's face it, it can be quite laborious to make. I'm going to show you how I make them very simple, fast and easy, hence the name of my kitchen, Yvonne's Easy Cooking. Today, I'll be making Ghana meat pie. It's a very popular street snack. You can find it everywhere in Ghana. It's a flaky pastry filled with meat and mostly meat, but of course you can fill it with anything. Today I'll be using beef and I will show you how I achieve my aromatic and flaky crust with the most yummy filling. I judge a good meat pie really by the crust, and I'm all about the crust. So I will show you the tricks, my tips and tricks, really my mom's, but it's mine now because I use it too. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, let me introduce you to the ingredients. In here we have 4 cups all-purpose flour. I have 1.5 cups of butter, 1/3 cup of shortening. I like to mix it up. I have a teaspoon baking powder, and in here I already have a teaspoon of salt. Okay, and I use this to spray the cup before I fill it with the shortening. It comes out very easily. And in here I have 1 egg very cold, and I have a medium onion, white onion, or vidalia onion. Do not use purple onion. And then 3 cloves of garlic, and I'll show you what I'm going to do with this. And I have a 1/3 cup of crushed ice. Okay, all right. Okay, so here I'm going to use my food processor to help me. I start off with the dry flour. It makes it easy on the blades. Then I put in my cold butter. It's frozen. I had refrigerated, froze it actually, solid rock, just like that. So I add in all my cubed butter, and then I add my shortening and finish it up with the dry flour. This makes it easy on the blades for processing. Using my pause button, I just blitz it a few seconds and it's done. Super simple. And this is the consistency I'm going for, like a panko breadcrumbs consistency. It's not smooth at all. It's crumbling. I mean, it's, yeah, just like that, like coarse. Okay, that's what we're looking for. And we perform the test. You squeeze it in your hands. If it comes together without crumbling, then you know you have the right ratio between flour and lard. Okay, all right. So what I did here was 1 cold egg, super cold, in my mini blender. I added my garlic and onions. I did add the crushed ice. I forgot to show it earlier, so I came back and added it to it. So blended that together using my smoothie function. I blended it to a smooth, very smooth mixture here, and this is the secret to achieving a very aromatic crust, very flavorful. Of course you can use dried onions and garlic, but you mix it with your dry flour, but it's not going to be the same. And because I don't like the feeling of stickiness on my hands, gooiness, I use my bamboo skewers to start. Mix it all together on the side, twirl in my bowl till everything is well incorporated. And then I think at this point I can form my ball. So I clean out the skewers and I go in with my hands, get dirty here. And what I'm doing is just squeezing everything together. And also it minimizes the contact to the flour, to the dough, I mean, so the butter that doesn't melt. Okay, so just squeeze it together. We are not needing this. If you need it, you are just going to develop the gluten, and your dough is going to be doughy instead of and chewy instead of crust, flaky. We're going for a flaky crust. So I do this and I split it into 2 and I put them in the refrigerator, let it cool for about an hour, and then we bring them out and roll them out and fill. So I'll see you in just a bit. Oh no, that. All right, so here we started with our filling, and like I said, I'm using beef, 1 pound beef. I have a large onion which I've just chopped in the processor, a cup of chopped carrots and peas, a cup each, red pepper and maggie tablets. In here I have 4 different spices, dry herbs. I have rosemary, fennel seed, thyme and basil, 2 tablespoons of flour and 2 cups of water, salt to taste and chicken powder. Okay, so to my beef that has already started cooking, we're just going to cook it out till all the pinkness is gone, and then we add our chopped onions. And I'm not looking to overcook this at all. I added all my dried herbs in there with my maggie tablet, okay, and then I'm just really trying to warm things up. Season with salt, which is totally to taste. In here I have no chicken bouillon. You can use beef if you have that. That's probably even better. Just use what you have. And I just added like 1/8 of a teaspoon of accent. If you have an allergic reaction or an aversion to it, don't use it. It's totally optional. I just added my peas and carrots, and all I'm doing is just warming things through. I'm not looking to overcook this at all because it's going to cook some more in the oven. Remember, we're going to bake it. And then I'm going to add my 2 cups of flour. Everything is moving very quickly. We're just warming things through. I add my 2 tablespoons, of flour. Well, before then I taste it. Taste it, adjust seasoning. It's all to taste, okay? Add your pepper if you want. My kids didn't want pepper, so I tried not to do that. But if you like it hot and spicy, which I do sometimes, I do add pepper. And taste again one more time and adjust as needed. And here goes my 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. I cook it out for just like a minute or so to get the raw taste out. Then I add my water very, very gradually. You don't want to overdo this. I started with 2 cups and used just 1.5 cups. And that's it. We're just going to let it sit. The flour will absorb the liquid, and this has to cool completely before we fill. My daughter wanted a taste here. It has to cool completely. If you try to fill your pie crust now, it's going to melt. So it's got to cool down completely. However long it takes to cool, that's fine. Okay, so it's an hour later, I got my dough out of the fridge. The other half is in the fridge. It needs to stay in there and chill while you work on those. Don't get them both out. You do not want the butter to melt. And look at that. It feels like Play-Doh. That's what I'm going for. It's actually fun to play with. And I'm going to flour my countertop, which is very clean. My hands are pristinely clean. And you want to, you don't want to roll out the whole big dough out at a time. Just cut them into portions. It's easier. It's less rolling and less working of the gluten. Okay. And you see what I'm doing? I'm cutting with my cookie cutter. That's what I'm going to use. You can use anything. The pie mold, the lid of a pot, coffee mug, whatever. But I like this. It gives me good portion. It's small enough and my family loves it. And you want to roll this out in one direction, just as I'm doing here. Don't go back and forth. This is the way to roll out your pie crust, okay, your pie dough. Okay, so it doesn't develop the gluten. If you roll it back and forth, it develops it. And this is the thickness I'm going for, like maybe 0.5 centimeter or something, or 1/4 centimeter. And it gives me the right texture, the right size. It's nice and flavorful with all that aroma. And this is the leftover of the blend, the onion garlic blend. Okay, we're going to use it to brush the pie crust. Really, all you need to do is just brush the edges. But it's so much flavor, why not? Just add some more, right? And we're going to fill. Be super generous with your filling as much as you can. Just go ahead and put it in there. It's you made it yourself and it's for your family. So I put in all the goodness in here. And sometimes when I overfill it, then I have difficulty, but just do the best you can. I like the crust, but I also like the meat. I use that to help me lift it up, and then I stretch the dough a little bit, stretch it a little bit so I can close it. Then I use my thumb to hold it down, and then I'm going to use my index finger and my thumb. I dip it in flour like so, and then I use it to make my indentations to seal it. You can use a fork, totally. I'll actually do both, okay? Seal it. It's nicely sealed, and we're going to get a fork and make our vents, 2 or 3, so it doesn't pop in the oven. On a parchment lined tray, it goes. I'm just going to go ahead and roll the rest of them out, and I'll see you in just a bit. Now, the trick to also achieving a super flaky crust, apart from using everything cold like we did, frozen, is to actually let this back in the refrigerator. So I'm not going to put it in the fridge, in the oven right away. It's going to go back into the fridge about 15 minutes, let it set and firm up. Okay, and then we are going to egg wash it and stick it in the oven, and then we'll eat pie. Okay, so I'll see you in just a bit. This is going into the fridge. See you in just all right, so an hour later we get our pies out of the fridge, and I got my egg wash ready. It's just one egg. I added a little bit of the onion garlic blend just for extra flavor. I brushed them evenly across the pies, and these went into the oven for 25 minutes for at 350 degrees, but you must know your oven, okay, and adjust accordingly. It could be more or less. And now, because they were in the fridge, they were very firm and nice, and that will give you extra flaky crust. And 25 minutes later, look at that. Ta-da! Nice golden crust. Oh my goodness, the aroma in this kitchen, OMG, flavorful, just delightful aroma in this kitchen here. The pies are, they're hot. Beautiful, but it is hard. We need to get them out of the tray onto the cooling rack. It's gonna cool for a few minutes so we can handle these. Okay. That's hot. So you gotta use the spatula to help you take them out. Be careful, don't burn yourself. So it'll just cool for a few minutes, and we're going to have this with chocolate drink. In Ghana, it's traditional to do that. Those who sell these on the street, they sell cold chocolate drink, ice cream, something, and we're having it today just with, look at that, I broke it open, delicious, full of, look at the crust, the thickness is perfect, it's nice and moist, and look at that, crusty, flaky, look at that. This has passed the flake test, and it's just delicious. The aroma is so flavorful in here, and the meat, this is packed and is moist. You see how it's absorbed. And look at that onion. Oh my God, this is what you get in Ghana. When you bust that pie open, you just get that one thin onion. But here we've loaded it with meat. So delicious. And we're having this with cold chocolate and whipped cream. My daughter's eating all the whipped cream, and we just do some chocolate shavings on here for some extra chocolatey, goodness. It's our birthday. We're just, going over the top a little bit, and we are going to make it even more chocolatey by adding some chocolate wafer straws here. I think Gretchen is going to want two, so we'll give her two. Another one for myself. All right, so Gretchen, we would enjoy this, and we'll sing our Ghana jingle. Gretchen has learned a Ghana jingle in Ghana song. We'll sing it as we enjoy. So yum, yum, yum. Delicious. Jingle. Let's go, Gretchen. Moko mami kashiyewo, fun ice cream. Moko mami kashiyewo, fun ice cream. Moko mami kashiyewo, fun ice cream. Who likes fun ice cream? So I will leave all the ingredients and measurements in the description box below. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and hit the notification bell. I think it's here somewhere, so you don't miss any episode, any video that I upload. Please give my recipe a try. You've tried everything else, now try mine, and show me your recreations in the comments below. Before I sign off, I want to thank my friend, Mrs. Morgan, who introduced me to YouTube cooking last year. I didn't even know people were cooking on YouTube, and she was like, Yvonne, you need to go on YouTube and share your recipes and your skills with others so they can enjoy as well. We had a family situation, couldn't get into it until this year, until now actually. So I call her Haji Anye. She's a mother of twins. So Haji Anye Orado, I dedicate this very first episode to you. I'll see you next time. Happy cooking. Bye bye.